Hi, this is Bill from Mastodon. You're watching Burning Music.
Your newest record is called The Hunter. Tell me all about it and how was the progress?
How was the progress?
Yeah.
Process.
Process, yeah, sorry.
The new album, The Hunter, yeah, well, it's let's see, almost a year old now. And time has really flown.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like we've been touring on it for a long time. The process for recording it was a little different than the last few records.
Okay.
It was more of a spontaneous kind of burst of ideas that kind of just happened rather than like Crack the Sky. I mean, every record's different. And it seems as the band gets progressive and as we get older and play with each other and you know, time goes on, each record seems to get a little easier.
Okay.
I mean, once we started working with Brendan O'Brien, it was like, wow, okay, this is, because he really had a good vision and idea and everything worked really smoothly. But for us writing that record, Crack the Sky, it was like arduous. We sat there and rearranged the structure of every song, and we took each song and we were like, this parts need to be even more difficult to play, to be harder. With The Hunter, we didn't do any of that. With The Hunter, we kind of just wrote a riff and said, oh, does that sound cool? Yeah, all right, let's record it like next week.
Okay.
We didn't sit there and like dwell on it and say, how can we make this part more difficult or more complex? A song like Curl the Burl is very simple, easy song, you know, like if that were 5 years ago, we would probably be like, no, we need to make that more difficult.
Okay.
So this time we were just very carefree, I guess. We really wanted to write a record again without all that added stress of, we've got to add like some kind of story has to go with it. And then once you make a record with a concept, it's kind of like every song has to be connected, and each lyrics have to all kind of tell us, at least with us, they have to kind of tell a story, and that's kind of the direction we were going. But we didn't have the time to like put all that together, because with Crack the Sky we had a lot of time. We had we didn't have anybody taking the paintbrushes out of our hands. It's like we just kept writing and rearranging and doing more and keep adding and changing, and kept doing that for months until finally we said, okay, you have to stop now. You have to record the record. With The Hunter, it was like you have 1 month to make a record, record it, and then you leave for tour.
Okay.
So we said, okay, we just couldn't. We wanted to get the record out last year. We didn't want it to. We wanted it to capture that spontaneity that we had, because we all went our separate ways after a tour, and we all came back together, and we just said, this is what I got, this is what I got, this is what I got, this is what I got. Just threw it all together, and then some of the stuff was even just barely made it on the record because we were writing it like in the studio. Okay. Feverishly, just like, I gotta make this song's gotta make it on the record, and we ended up having like, I think 16 songs or something. We had way more than we needed, you know, because Crack the Sky was only 7 songs, but I don't know. It was just different. We just had a big outpouring of artistic stuff. You know, everything, all that bottled up energy from touring from the last record just kind of spilled out. I mean, also in our favor, you know, we have a practice rehearsal spot, and I made like a studio in there. Okay. So everything's mic'd up, and that way when we have an idea, push record, play it. Otherwise we didn't do that. We'd have to remember, you know, so a lot of like I said, spontaneous stuff came out, and we were able to capture it. Okay, that's cool. Because otherwise, sometimes you write something, and then 10 seconds later, you forget. You're like, how'd that go? How'd that go? How'd that go? So it was my purpose was to build the studio and have microphones and everything always, and that way nothing slips through the cracks. You know. So when we were ready to actually physically record, we had all these different recordings of all these different parts. So we said, let's use this part here, this part there. And with the next record, it'll probably be the same thing. even faster. Maybe maybe we'll just get the record done in like a day.
Okay. Wow.
Start putting records out every day.
Why did you name your album The Hunter?
Well, we had a song on the record called The Hunter, and it was like an ode to Brent's brother, who was a hunter, avid hunter, and he died. He died at the beginning of last year, while he was hunting, and kind of while the record was, those songs were kind of stirring, and I think the record before that was The Crack the Sky had was kind of an ode to Braun's sister, who had passed away when he was very young. So we just thought it was fitting to kind of honor his memory and I'll call it The Hunter, because it's kind of, that's who he was. He was known for being a hunter, and he was very personal to Brent. So yeah.
What's your favorite song of the album?
My favorite song?
Yeah.
I don't know. I really like some. I like them all, but favorite. I don't know. Sorry, Spectralite. Spectralite is one of my favorites because Scott Kelly's singing in there, and there's some cool riffs in there that I really like to play. Okay. It just moves really fast, and it's just got this.
It's a good song. Swinging
rhythm to it, and I helped write most of it, so that's why.
Sure.
I like, of course I like it because I had a lot to do with writing it. So.
What would you work now if you wouldn't be a musician?
McDonald's.
Okay.
No, I would not. I'm just kidding. I would never. I don't even step foot in McDonald's. Where would I work? Fuck, I don't know. My last real job was I was a cook at a restaurant, a Mexican restaurant that my friend owns. It's like a bar. But I only got that job because I knew that I was going to start Mastodon soon. Because I moved from New York, where I lived, to Atlanta. And when I applied for the job, my friends owned the place, so I said, "Hey, of course I've cooked many restaurants." And I didn't. I cook at home, but so I kind of lied.
So you're a great cook then.
I can cook. I know how to, I know how to cook. My wife's better though. So I might be working there. I don't know. Who knows where I'd be working? I might be doing construction, or I would probably just be a stay-at-home dad. Honestly, because I've got 2 little children at home, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
That's a job.
That's true.
When I go home from tour, it's get up at 6 a.m., breakfast, make lunches, take them to school, and then 1, 2 o'clock, pick them up from school, and then do homework, and then they go to soccer, and they go to capoeira, and they go to guitar lessons, and there's always somebody's birthday party. I mean, I'd be like a taxi driver, stay-at-home dad, taxi driver. That's what I do.
Okay. Do you have any funny stories to tell when you're on tour? No? Nothing? Oh, come on.
What do you mean? Like, be more specific. About tour?
Yeah, like, I don't know, past tours or the current tour. Like, I don't know.
Funny stories. I don't
crazy
know.
Story.
Yeah, I've got some
crazy fans.
I've got a lot of crazy ones that I can't really tell you.
Top secret.
Yeah, there's certain things I've sworn to secrecy on. Well, I mean, I don't know how funny this is, but the last tour we had in Europe, we started in Scandinavia on our tour bus, and the heat was broken. It was winter in Scandinavia with like feet of snow. That was pretty terrible. On this tour, the cold air is broken in the summertime.
Oh,
so.
That sucks.
Yeah, one time on the tour bus, I was going down in the middle of the night to use the bathroom down the steps, and the bus is traveling somewhere in Scandinavia in the mountains. It was like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Everyone's asleep, and the bus is just cruising down the highway really fast, and I went into the bed. You go down these steps, and there's a door there. The door slides open. You know, you get off the bus.
Yeah.
But when I went inside the bathroom, I must have hit the button because the door. When I came back out of the bathroom, the door was open, and the moonlight was shining, and I was like pretty hungover and probably still drunk, and I almost fell out. I was like bouncing around, and I was like, "Oh my god, the fucking door is open!"
Yeah.
And looking out, it was just not a cliff, but like a very steep hill, just down, and all you could see the moon was shining on all this feet of snow, and I was like reaching for the button to close the door because I could have any second just fell out, rolled down into the snow. I was in my underwear, just rolled down in the snow and never be found again because they would never know that the door opened and I fell out and the door closed, and they'd find me like millions of years later, like the frozen Mastodon.
Thank God it didn't happen.
You know, thank the good Lord above that did not happen.
What can people expect if they visit a Mastodon show?
Loud, heavy rock and roll. 4 sweaty guys on stage. I don't know. We try to play, you know, all the songs that we think the crowd would really go crazy for. You know, you're playing in front of like thousands of people. If you're playing with Metallica or Slayer or something, you know, you want to come out really heavy and impress people. You know, we try not to talk to the crowd in between songs, and we're just not that kind of band that like the crowds. They love to be told what to do. Like, you get over there and do that, and you do a circle pit. I don't like that. We don't do that kind of shit.
It's not a kind of necessary thing. So
yeah, we've never been that kind of band, and
I mean, people want to listen to you and not talk. You know?
Yeah, but
just,
you watch bands like Hatebreed or Metallica, even like they tell the crowd like, "Do you want more? You want to do this? Circle pit." It's like we're not like that. We're very quiet people, you know. For me, it's more like the Ramones style of just coming out 1, 2, 3, 4, and just play next song, next song, next song. Thank you, good night. See you later. Yeah, we don't really have a good. Well, on this tour, it's hard. Back in the States, we usually have like really big light show and like, you know, laser-eyed backdrop and you know, crazy stuff like that. But probably not today. I don't know. We are inside, so maybe tonight will be. Maybe tonight we'll be able to use some cool lights. You know, take some
photos. Yeah.
Cool.
What are the plans for the future?
Plans for the future. Well, we've been like I said in the beginning, we've been touring pretty heavily for the Hunter. But I've been writing a lot of new stuff on the road in my spare time, and this tour gets over in July 1st. We're gonna go home for some well-needed rest and see back home with our families and loved ones and such. And we come back over to Europe to do the what do you call it? Reading and Leeds in the UK.
Okay, never heard of it.
Reading and Leeds and Reading and Leeds. You haven't heard of that? It's a huge festival. One of the biggest ones.
Did you? Okay, I'm sorry.
So we're coming over for that. That's really all we have planned for the rest of the year. We'll probably take a really long break and, you know, maybe start demoing some new material pretty soon, writing some, you know, just getting together, writing some new stuff. But we definitely need a little bit of a break. We've been hitting it very hard, so.